Hey guys, and welcome to the second part of the Cosplay Enthusiast Soul King Brook video. Basically, where I'm just going to be talking about, costuming and characterization. Basically, as you saw, Brook goes from the gentleman ghost kind of outfits to more of a fabulous, crazy skeleton. I can't put a label on it. Like, there's the picture. What do you have for, labeling? But anyway, I'm just going to quickly cover the pieces that I made, how I made them, just so if you're like, oh, I want to do this cosplay, you can do that yourself, and, all that stuff. So first off, you need the base. You need to be a skeleton. Now, I'm going to talk about two quick options you got. One, you can do the morph suit thing. To cover your whole body, cover your arms, and potentially all your fingers and stuff like that. Which is a good way to go. So, you have full body coverage. Now, one of the issues I kind of had was, with the fingers. They were wearing originally. But also, you have felt over your fingers. You can't really, do things as well. So, I have a pair of gloves with this costume, and I just cut out the finger. So, if I have to grab my phone or do something like that, I can actually do that. Also secondary, if you do this, make a little hole so you can use the restroom or something, because you're going to be wearing clothing over this, and I don't know if I can quickly show you, but, it's kind of difficult to, to pull everything down just so you can use the restroom if you've got everything on you. So you might want to cut yourself a little zipper or Velcro or something like that if you decide to go the morph suit route. Now, there's another route. I'm going to call that Poor Man's Brook route. But basically what I did originally was, I had this skeleton shirt, and then I had a long sleeve, I don't want to say sweater because it's going to be warm for some things, but just some kind of long sleeve t-shirt or something to cover up my arms, and then I had the black gloves. Also, he does wear a sport coat, at least as far as I can interpret with the costuming, so it's not as big an issue to have the sleeve coverage. I just do it just so, if people see in my sleeve, they don't see, pale Irish arm. They see black, so they can be like, oh, hey, there's, nothing there. Ooh, trying to keep the illusion. But again, gloves and such. And then for pants, I'll talk about in another video, I did two versions of these pants. This, I would say, is the ultimate best way to go with it, because these are actually khaki pants, kind of like what he's wearing. Now, mine aren't quite as, bright and vibrant colored, but these were khakis that I dyed with pink fabric dye. And then the flowers I made with fabric paint and such. I can't really sew or anything like that, so I couldn't just make the cool flower patterns, thank you, like he has on his pants. So, yeah, it's kind of stiff and whatnot, but I feel like it'll work well enough. And also, I suggest going, some kind of actual pants rather than my original idea, which was sweatpants, because these are actual pockets. So, let's say, you're at the con, you can keep your wallet, your keys, your phone in your pockets, actually. Sweatpants, it can be problematic to do that, and you could very easily lose your stuff. So, and, these actually look more like what he's wearing than, sweatpants. So, just some thoughts to consider. You can go the sweatpants route, and I'll just show you mine really quick. I can show you my pictures from Colossal Con, but yeah, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me, and also, I just realized these don't even have pockets. Whoops. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. In terms of the mask, I made several of my own originally, like this. which kind of fell apart and got smashed up, and it didn't work as well. So kind of and I ultimately just settled on this store-bought mask from Party City of a skeleton. Now, I have seen other people who made actual Brook masks, because he has like a longer skull, like big teeth, lower jaw, and I have a lot of respect for them for doing that. I don't know how to. That is why I haven't done it myself. So, it's one of the step downs my cosplay takes in comparison to some other better cosplayers. So, you can find a simple skeleton mask that you can buy in the store, or if you know how to make masks, make your own. Basically it's a skull, just with a larger jaw, big teeth. Sorry. So there's that. And then, finally, well, there's actually two headpieces. There's the giant afro. I got this online on Amazon for like $14-15. My thing did not come with something to really keep it on my head, so I tied in a hair tie, scrunchy thingy, whatever, so I can attach to my head, thusly. So I have the giant black afro. Or if you have your own giant black afro, you can probably do that. And then the final headpiece, the crown. Again, I made this myself. This I made out of styrofoam wreaths. You can find them at Michael's, well, your crafting store, or potentially Walmart. The smaller ring was a larger size, I want to say 12-inch, and then the smaller rings are a smaller size, I want to say a 6 or 8-inch diameter. You have the bottom one, then you stick the two on top, or is that just one? I think that's two. But anyway, you stick the other two on top, tape it down, glue it down, and then you paint it gold. Now, I feel like it would be a bit better if it was another ring taller, potentially. It might look nicer. I don't know, I might try that in the future. But, yeah. So, there's that. And he has an orange boa, because he is fabulous, I'm just going to say. I got this at Walmart or Michael's, one of the two, for I think it was like $6 maybe. But you just wrap it around, and bam, fabulous. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know how to tie it. Like, I do it like that so it stays on, because if I just do it draped over the shoulders, it can just fall off, and I don't want that. But yeah. Also, side note, this thing is feathers, and they will come off and fall apart, so this might be a thing that just ultimately falls apart eventually on you. Just keep that in mind. And the final bit of Brook's costume, his shark guitar. This is something I made myself. Basically, I work at a store where we have large slip sheets of cardboard, and I was allowed to take a couple home with me so I can make this design. Like I said, this is a shark-shaped guitar, so I pretty much just eyeballed this from what Brook has in the pictures and such. I believe I have the measurements up somewhere. It's like 39 or 36 inches from tail to snout, base, whatever, and I forget the across. But basically, do that, tape it together, maybe use two or three pieces. Maybe put a couple dowel rods in there, because you might be able to see or you might not. It's kind of bending right here, which kind of sucks. So I'm probably going to ultimately remake the guitar. But yeah, after you get the shape and everything, pretty much you just do the painting stuff. Eyeball, teeth, gills, the center hole thingy that guitars have for some reason. I don't know. I'm not a musical instrument guy, so I don't know. And then I use parachute cord for the strings. Not going to be as convincing as, say, like fishing line or something, but it was what I had at the time that I went with, and I liked it, so I'm just sticking with it. Though if I do remake it, I will go with, fishing line and such. Whew. Alright. So that's the costume. I still have to go over characterization and such. Whew, boy. Alright. First off, he's very happy, very upbeat, very nice, friendly, good person. Like, you just, even though he's a skeleton, you just want to give him a hug just because he's so nice and friendly to people. It's so great. That's why I like him that's part of why I like him so much. Whew. Second, he has a great appreciation for music. He's actually a rock star by the time Time Skip starts. He's toured the Grand Line for the last 2 years, and he's gotten some fame as a rock star. So, yeah, he loves music. And he's probably very well recognized across the sea. I'm trying to think of what else there is to think about him. Also, if you notice me looking up, it's because I have my New World poster right over there, so I can make reference. Let's see, he's a skeleton, and he does love making puns about his skeleton status. Oh, I can't believe my eyes. Oh, I get a sinking feeling in my stomach. Oh, I can't think of other puns right now. But he makes those puns, and he laughs at them. That's just how he does it. He just has fun with it, and I can appreciate that. Because, as I'm sure you can guess, it's hard to go from being a living human being to being a skeleton. And also, I guess, to really explain why he's like that, he ate one of the devil fruits, which gave him the power of resurrection. Sorry. And, he died in the Thriller Bark Sea area with his crew, and the boat was adrift for 50 years, so unfortunately, when his soul left his body, it couldn't find it so easily. It took him 50 years or so to find it again. And by that time, he'd already decomposed into a skeleton. But the fruit was cool enough to let him re-enter his body, and yeah, he can still walk around and move and sing and dance and all that great stuff. I don't know. But, also in relation to that, though, he was left drifting in that sea for a very long time by himself. So he had to do many different things to keep himself happy, like making the jokes about being a skeleton. Actually leaning up against things at a 45-degree angle, like I'm going to try and show you. Right here. Like, legit. He will do the Michael Jackson lean from Smooth Criminal, like just up against walls and such. Oh, God. That doesn't feel great. Whew. Sorry. Ow. He would do that against the walls of the ship and such, and, he would just get a kick out of it. And, he would practice his music and such, and, yeah. Again, sorry. It's hard to think about that stuff without feeling a bit bad. Like, legit, I feel like Brook, deserves a box of kittens and a hug, like, every time I see him, just because going through all of that. God. So, yeah. If I had to say, I think he's, making that stuff to keep himself up and happy, because if he didn't do that kind of stuff, he would sink into, a serious depression that he honestly couldn't climb out of. And, yeah, I can appreciate that. So, yeah, keep the attitude upbeat, funny, make jokes with people, joke about being a skeleton. Just have fun, joke around, and be goofy. Also, he is an older anime character, so of course he has to be a perverted old man. I know it's cliche, but anyway, he will ask women to see their panties. It's a Japanese fetish thing. It's weird. I don't know. Whew. So yeah, if you meet any pretty ladies at the con, you can ask that question. I have not done that yet because I don't want to either get smacked in the face really freaking hard or find out they're a bit younger than I thought they were. Because that could create some issues. Also, Brook, he comes in the 370s in the number of episodes. Not everyone will have seen, up to that point, so they might not know about Brook and who he is, and that's part of his character. So unless you're with friends or people who actually know One Piece, I wouldn't suggest asking women to see their panties because they might get mad at you. And trust me, you don't want that. Women are scary. Oh yeah, also one other little thing that I forgot that I have that I'm going to be bringing with me for the cons and such is this little guy, Laboon, the whale that Brook and the Rumbar pirates left at the beginning of the Grand Line, that Luffy met and painted their little pirate thingy on there, and yeah. Basically, Brook and the crew made the promise that they would return to that spot, the Grand Line, to pick up Laboon after they circumvented the Grand Line. The issue was originally that Laboon was young and small, and they didn't want to have to try and defend themselves as well as Laboon from attackers and such. It would have just been too difficult to do all of that. So yeah, they left him at the Grand Line, and unfortunately everyone died, and yeah, now Brooks made it his mission to get back there to apologize to Laboon, because it's been over 50 years since all that happened, and he owes him that. And again, it's one of those other things that I can really like and respect about Brook is his dedication to Laboon. It's been 50 years, guy literally died, and he's like, no, that's not an excuse. I have to get back there, I have to tell him I'm sorry about what happened, and that... if you know me personally, I can draw some parallels to this character. And if you don't know me, I can draw some parallels with this character. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, so one of the things I would say, if you're dealing with a serious Brook cosplayer, don't make mean jokes about his crew, Laboon, or other crap like that. If you want to jokingly, make things about oh hey, I bet you couldn't believe your eyes when you saw this, huh? Or something like that. Feel free. Just, in my opinion, don't be a jerk to him. That's all I'm saying. Because he's been through enough as it is, and he doesn't need that. Because, legit, whenever you're just a walking skeleton, not everyone's gonna meet you with laughter and hugs, like Luffy did whenever he first saw him. Legit, 2 seconds into seeing him, dude, join our crew! And I loved and appreciated that. And that's one of those things that I like about Luffy. He doesn't see people, for who they are physically. He just has this good sense of, oh, hey, this person's good. We should befriend them or help them out or have them join us. And that's very cool, and I appreciate that. Oh, God. Right. So, yeah, that's all I've got for the costuming and characterization for Brook. Basically, the costume parts. Pink floral pants, orange boa, portray yourself as a skeleton somehow, have a black sports jacket, have a large golden crown, some kind of skull mask, a little Laboon plush, Laboon, to help. And you don't need it, but it's a nice little thing. I've seen some people with it, and I really appreciate it, because, that's his whole thing about seeing Laboon again, and it's nice, and it works, and yeah. And then the characterization stuff again. He likes to make jokes about being a skeleton. He likes to, just laugh and play music and have fun and jump around and all this stuff. Although that might be a bit of a cover for serious depression and such. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. Because, again, I'm not really in a place to do that. And, yeah, he's just a good, fun-loving guy that legit any party would be better for having known. So, Ichiro Oda, thank you for making this character. Ian Sinclair, the man who does the voice in the English dub, thank you for portraying him portraying him so well. I've heard some of your work, and I love it, and as a serious One Piece fan, I appreciate it. And, to the actual fictitious character, Brook, thank you for everything that you do, for all the laughter and jokes and joy that you bring to Luffy and the others, and honestly, anyone that you meet. You're a good, wonderful man, and, I'm sure you'll see Laboon again one day. And it'll be good, and everything will be good and dandy. Or it better be, otherwise I'm going to be very sad. And I'm going to need the box of kittens and a hug. So, yeah. That's about all I've got, guys. So, thank you for watching. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, or whatever, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to join up with, following my Facebook group or whatever, I'll put a link for that in the description. Also, I have a cosplay group for Ohio cosplayers. Basically, just, oh hey, about Ohio cons, we can potentially set up meetups and stuff like that. I call it Ohio Cosplay Meetups, because I'm clever like that, apparently. There will be a link for that in the description below. Basically, if you want to meet and talk with other Ohio cosplayers, join up with us. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting. And yeah, on that note, that is all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. So, have fun, stay safe, be clever, be creative, and I will catch you next time. I am Valiant Bradley James, the Cosplay Enthusiast, and I will catch you next time. Peace.